This day. I mean, it's a Friday. If you aren't excited, then I don't know what you are doing. But anyway, we are back again with our edition, a very special edition, and we are still talking to Unplanned, Feel Bland. And earlier, behind the scenes, I was talking about YouTube and how it earns or how it pays, because so many people do not know, and others do just speculate when you get to ask them. So, Phil, I'd like to ask you, being the YouTuber that you are, that is making it, in this whole vlogging world, how about you tell us, how do you get paid on YouTube?
All right. So first off, it's not a short-term game. It's something you need to build up over time. First of all, if you start a channel tomorrow, you're not going to make money from the videos that you post, but from the viewers.
Yes.
You need to hit certain thresholds to become part of the YouTube Partner Program. And what that means is you need to have 1,000 subscribers and you need to have 4,000 hours watched. And those are quite large to get numbers to get to. But once you get past that, then you start earning money because YouTube puts ads on your videos. And if somebody watches the ad, or they see ads in different places on your video, then the advertisers that have placed those ads will pay a certain amount of money to Google or to YouTube, and then YouTube will give you, I think, 45% of the money that's earned from that.
45%, okay.
Yeah. So you will start earning some money, but it will be small. So just to give a kind of understanding, you're not actually paid for the number of subscribers that you have. You're paid for the number of views that your video gets. And if you have a long video, you can place multiple ads on those videos. So I made longer videos. The main reason is, well, partly because I had a lot of content from these events, but also because I wanted to place multiple ads on the videos, and also I wanted to build up my view hours over quickly enough that I would start getting paid from it. And to give an indication of how much I've earned, I'll just be upfront with you guys.
Yes, let us know. Would love to know that.
Sure. And so I didn't earn anything up until I believe March. Then I got accepted into the YouTube program. Then I had a couple of big hit videos. So I hit the 4,000 in March, 4,000 view hours, and I hit the 1,000 subscribers. But then I had a couple of big hits, and I think I'm now sitting on around 40,000 hours viewed, and that's just in the last 2 months, basically.
Yes.
And like I said, I'm on about 6,000 subscribers. Now I've earned about £700 from that. And that is direct from YouTube. Now, I haven't actually been paid that into my bank account, but that's sitting in my kind of YouTube account. That's one way to start making money from YouTube. Now, but that is less than I was earning before.
Yes,
right?
You talked about you were a banker before. So that leads me to, the part of living a meaningful life. How do you quit your job that actually pays you? You talked about, first let us know, how much were you getting paid? That job that you actually quit, to go to YouTube. You may not give us the exact amount, but maybe.
Do you know what? I'm just going to do it. I decided to, this will sound crazy to a lot of people listening to this, and I'm sorry if this, I'm not trying to brag in any way. This was my decision, and given the fact that I'd managed to save up a bit of money, so I'm going to put some caveats there. I'm not trying to brag about this in any way. I was offered in November that I would get paid £1,000 a day.
£1,000 a day.
Which is about £250,000 a year, which is a heck of a lot more than many people in the UK are earning. I think the average salary is around £30,000, which is still a lot of money.
Yes, definitely.
So, listen, that was just something I'd worked. I've been working in banking for like 10 years, and that was what was offered. But I kind of did a bit of self-reflection at that point, at the end of the year, and I thought, you only get one life, and you want to make it sure that you feel that your life's as meaningful as possible.
Yeah.
And there are certain components that you need to have to, in my opinion, to have a meaningful life, and it kind of comes from a philosophy from Japan called Ikigai, which is essentially there's 4 components. You need to do something that you love, and you need to do something that you're good at, and you need to do something that other people need or want, and you also need to do something that you can be paid for. Now, in some ways, like I did have some of those components filled, but I didn't feel, I was working for big organizations, and I didn't feel like I was able to make as big an impact in the world as I wanted, because I wasn't making a large number of people's lives better. I was creating a product for a small number of people.
Yes.
So I just made the decision, you know, and I liked what I was doing. I didn't love what I was doing.
Yes.
And I thought
and that is very, very key. It's very fundamental.
For sure. And so, you know, when you look at the world or your life through the fact that you've only got one of them, and you're not willing to sacrifice any of that time to do something that doesn't make you feel fulfilled. And especially because I put myself in a position where I had been saving for a long period of time, I thought I can take a year off and I can focus on building something that's going to take me some time, and I just need to be patient that I'm not going to earn that much money from it for a period of time, but it could be bigger in the long run than what I was earning before, if you can create enough value for a large number of people, and if you can have a big enough impact. And I thought with the broadcast abilities and the scalability of something like YouTube, that might be possible. And so that's why I chose to do it.
Okay, now speaking of doing something that you love or something that you're good at, while you are doing banking, did you think about YouTube as, you know, something that you loved to venture into, or was it about, you know, the money? Because at the end of the day, YouTube does pay really well. If you talked about, you know, when you are up there and you have, you know, a huge fan base and you have multiple views, like you were doing really well on YouTube, you can get a lot of money. We're seeing artists, you know, actresses getting a lot of money off YouTube. So is it something that you sat back and you're like, let me venture into this for the money bit of it, or is it something that you like, you know, this is something that I love, I want to do this because I love it?
I don't think that you'll ever be really successful at anything in life, if you're doing it because you think you're going to earn lots of money out of it. I think it needs to have the potential. For me, something that I'm working on needs to have the potential to possibly in the future earn a lot of money, but I'm willing to take the risk that it's not going to for a long period of time. And so you need to sustain yourself over that long period of time with something a lot more meaningful, that's going to help you to go through the inevitable ups and downs that you're going to go through, and the challenges that you're going to have when trying to build something from the ground up. And I guess the thing that's sustaining me right now is seeing, having, you know, experiences like taking 12 kids to a restaurant that had never been to a restaurant before, and getting the restaurant owner to pay because he had been in one of the videos that I did for Blankets and Wine, and that was Middle Eastern restaurant. And it was an amazing experience for the restaurant owner, and for me, for the kids, but most importantly for the kids, and seeing them light up, that was awesome. And then getting to read comments all day. I get like 50 to 100 comments every day, and I get to read them and respond. I'm responding to every single comment that I get, and the comments that I'm getting are like, for example, one comment that I got was from somebody who lived in Australia but was from Uganda. They hadn't been home to Miss Cindy in 12 years, and they messaged me in the comments and said, Phil, I'm watching your video from Miss Cindy and I'm crying right now because I haven't seen my hometown for 12 years. And it just means so much to me. Or somebody else messaged me and said, hey Phil, I've been watching your videos with my boyfriend in Germany. I'm from Uganda, and now he's really excited about coming to Uganda to visit. And so you don't know that when I quit my job to start YouTube, it's like, oh, this might be good. But when you see the impact that you're having on other people, when you try to be as authentic and honest about making the content that you possibly can, you find that those are the connections, and the meaning comes from people getting value from the thing that you're creating. And that's really
enough. That is satisfying. Anyway, I'd like to know from you, what are those challenges that you have encountered in your YouTube channel or in your vlogging journey rather at the moment?
Well, I mean, not like trying not to spend money is like quite important when you're trying to build something. I mean, I'm not earning very much. I've just started earning some money. Now, hopefully that grows over time, but it might not. I've actually just gone through a massive uptick in the number of people watching, but if you look at my metrics right now, they've dropped off massively because that video's died down, but I've not got another video that's come up. And being able to withstand those kind of this is a vicissitudes or changes in over time, those ups and downs, and not get too tied with your ego to those things is one of the most important things that you can do, because it will allow you to just continue being consistent. I'm just trying to think to myself, it's hard right now to get something off the ground, but those connections and that value that I'm creating for people that are watching these videos is the thing that's sustaining me through any ups and downs, because those are the things those connections and those meaningful unique experiences that I'm having are the things that help you to kind of grow as a human, and that's what I'm enjoying.
Okay, having spent multiple months in Uganda, I would like to know from you, or let us know, what are those interesting things that you have enjoyed or found in Uganda? What is it that you love about Uganda so much?
Yeah, I'm actually like learning some like Ugandanisms, like or
you love it.
or hey
In December, man. That is interesting.
Or just little ways that people do things. Like I noticed that people raise their eyebrows when they want to say yes. Like they go like this. Now people just small details.
Yes.
You only pick that up when you get deep in the culture of somewhere. If you stay there for a long time, the greetings that Ugandans do. You know, I sometimes forget that, because in the UK, it's quite often you just get straight down to business, and then afterwards you ask somebody how they are.
Oh yes.
So sometimes I'll send somebody a message. I'll be like, "Oh, did you get a chance to do that?" And then I'll say, "Oh no, sorry, I forgot my Ugandan manners." And then I'll say, "Hello, how are you?" And then they'll say, "I'm good. How are you?"
Business.
Yeah. So it's like these small things that's interesting that you learn when you you go with people. Also, or you get to know people better.
Yes.
Also, just like people being so kind of nice and kind to me on the street. Obviously, people see the Mzungu, and they're like, oh, there's the occasional people who will meet me in the street and say, you know, just see money, and they'll just think I'm gonna ask this guy to give me something.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a very minority of people. The vast majority of people are very inquisitive, curious about who I am, willing to kind of connect with me as an individual human being rather than just a
Mzungu. Okay, you know, besides, I mean, there's always the good part and there's always the bad part. It cannot always be good. So what are those challenges that you have encountered in Uganda? You talked about one of them, you know, off air, but I'd like you to tell us. I mean, you only told me, so people would love to know.
Remind me, which one was it?
It was about the bike bit of it while you were headed here.
Oh yeah, for example, I mean the Boda Bodas, I just came here, I've got a big gash, not a gash, that's a bit of a stretch, but like a scratch on my leg because the Boda Boda driver drove into a car, or he would say that the car drove into him, but I don't really mind. I still, but I've actually had a very, I mean, it's been very nice. The only negative thing, literally one time somebody said something negative to me and they stopped their car and said, "Mzungu, go home." But that is like this is the one like I've been here for 4 months, and that's the one thing. Everyone stops me on the street and says, because I'm filming with my phone, they'll say, "Be careful with your phone, somebody's going to steal it." They're so worried about me getting my phone stolen. Nobody's tried to steal my phone. I went to a Wiener market, people can check that one out, and I went in with a girl called Letitia, and she was getting some interesting comments about walking around with me, you know.
Yes.
But no, on the whole, I mean, I would love to give you some juicy gossip about how.
Yeah, please let us know. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I can't think of anything negative to say, and to be honest, I don't really like look at the world. Maybe that's just the way I look at the world. I try to see the best in everything, and maybe to a fault. Maybe I'm naive, but generally I've had a good experience.
I know, but they always talk about, well, they do, and I think it's one trait about Ugandans. Ugandans, they're very hospitable people. Do you approve of that? That we are very hospitable?
I mean, I've been taken aback by it. I've been to places and they've given me more food than I wanted, almost too much, and it's nice and it's a great place to be in. And even in the comment section where a lot of Ugandan people are commenting, they're saying we love you and please don't leave Uganda. This is your home. Please apply for citizenship here.
Yes, we'd love to have you here. I'm adding my voice to every other voice, every other person.
Thanks so much.
Anyway, while we're winding up this conversation, I'd like you to first, what are those cultural practices that you have, picked up? Could be interesting ones, it could be the funny ones. You talk about the winking and all that, and there are those particular cultural practices, rather, especially when you were on your way to Fort Portal, I don't know, those other places that you have visited.
Yeah.
That you find interesting, cultural practices. Are there any?
Well, I mean, I've not can't think of anything in particular. There's obviously things that different tribes do in different parts of
the ones I'm talking about.
The country. Like going to the traditional wedding was a big experience. Getting to see all of the things, whether it's drinking out of what's the cup called again?
But I don't know which one was that.
There's a cup made out of a plant.
A plant.
Yeah.
Oh! I also seem to forget the name, but I know it.
Calabash.
I see it. Calabash.
Calabash.
No, he wanted to know the name, the culture name. Did you want the
Calabash,
culture name?
Calabash.
Yes.
And so like or drinking the drink out of that, or giving the cows.
Oh yeah.
I keep on if I meet a girl here, don't ask me about girls. I keep on getting asked about girls in Uganda. If you date a girl here, it's actually, this is the difference, right? In the UK, if a guy is going to wants to marry a girl, he buys a ring, gives it to her. The dad of the bride pays for the entire wedding.
Oops.
Here, so there's no buying of the bride.
No.
You
in a small way.
I'm sorry if this it's to
bride
pay
price.
the bride price to pay for with the cows here, right? So you provide cows to take the daughter into your home, which is the tradition here. I don't know, I'm not sure, but as a man I prefer our way. But
so you don't want to bring cows to Uganda. We want cows.
I don't have any cows, but if I meet for example, if I finally meet a beautiful Ugandan girl and end up marrying her, I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to buy some cows. That's going to be an interesting.
You definitely will have to. But anyway, I'd like you to give, could be a word of advice, or word of advice to people out there who want to start up YouTube channels, so they can be like you or even better.
Well, yeah. If anyone out there wants to do anything, whether it's a YouTube channel or set up a business or do anything with their lives, I would just say, don't be afraid of what other people think. You're not going to be perfect immediately. Don't use that as an excuse to not do anything. Actually, I'll give you an example. There was a test done where there was a group of 10 people that were asked to make a pot every day for 30 days. And there was another group that were asked to make the perfect pot, and within 30 days, but they only needed to make one. And the group that made 30 pots, without a doubt, always their last pot was much better than each of the members of the group that were asked to make just one perfect pot. And that's because things get better every time, and you just need to put something out there. It's never going to be perfect when you first start. People will criticize you, but they'll ultimately buy into it if you just stick it out with patience and humility, that it's not going to be perfect in the beginning. But just get started, because life's too short to you don't want to wake up at 80 years old and think, I
should have done this back in the day.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, would love to have your parting shots as we, head out for a break.
I just want to say thanks so much, Tidle, for having me on. It's been awesome. And if anyone wants to subscribe to my YouTube channel,
yes, it's okay. You can let them know.
It's called Unplanned, Phil Bland. Thanks so much, guys. Look forward to having you part of the community.
Thank you so much for coming to Tidle. We've been, it's been an amazing interview with you. And yes, people get to know you. I knew you well. I already knew. It's been great, and I definitely know that people out there must have enjoyed it. I did enjoy myself on the interview. I hope you did as well.
Yeah, it's been great meeting you too. Thanks.
Let's get back to the break, and I'll be back. The detox continues. Keep listening to Tidle Radio.